So this was from last night. Shout out to the Bengals captain for posting this on Twitter. But these are two plays that both, one was called PI, one was not called PI. So let's watch this play. This was called pass interference. Obviously, yes, the guy got there early. The guy made contact with wide receiver. And that is called pass interference. This was not called pass interference in any capacity. Now, I know this video is about to take a different turn than you might expect. If I would get the comments. But here's the difference between the two. Okay? And I'm not going to sit here and say the Chiefs are going to get all the calls. They're going to cheat. They're going to do all this stuff. Reality-wise is these two different scenarios. The one on the right, the reason why this is not called, it's in garbage time. It is situational football. While I do have beliefs that, and I've said this before, that I think the Chiefs will get favorable calls because, and if the refs can sway it in their favor, they will. But I don't think the one on the right here from last night was not called because it's the Chiefs. I know that's crazy to say, but I feel like the one on the right, the reason why it wasn't called is because it's garbage time. And honestly, when it's garbage time, even if it was the opposite way around, the Chiefs had that penalty and it could have been a penalty, I don't think they would have called it. I don't think they would have called it against the Saints on the Chiefs. And I don't think they're going to call it on the Chiefs versus Saints. It's garbage time football. The one on the left is a game-ending play. That's the real big difference between these two. Obviously, if it's a game-ending play, you're going to call it. Now, again, I think it will be called more often in favor of the Chiefs. But in reality, most ending of a game, you're going to see if it's a blatant pass interference or the referees think it's blatant, they're going to call it every single time. This one on the left, a lot of people believe it's blatant pass interference. They're going to call that if it's a game-ending type scenario because everyone's going to remember that play and how that play ended and how the game ended. In reality, this play right here, it's garbage time. Is it pass interference? Yeah, it is. It's pass interference. But again, I just don't, and I'm trying to be realistic here. You know, trust me, I don't like the Chiefs. I don't. I am not, as you know, I'm very disliking of the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'm trying to be realistic here, and realistically, I do not believe they did not call this. A lot of people on Twitter are like, oh, they didn't call it because it's the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think that's the case. I think they didn't call it because it's garbage time. And reality-wise, yes, it is blatant pass interference. Yes, there is a clear issue with referees. And referees need to, you know, do better. And referees need to be checked. And there needs to be some fixed things. But in reality, I just think it wasn't. It's a situational football. End of the game type scenario, last play, you're going to call pass interference. If it's a garbage time play and it doesn't really matter, you're probably not calling it. And again, like I said, I don't think that's because the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's just how it's going to work. That's just football. That's just, you know, referees in football. They've been doing that forever. But again, you know, two calls should be pass interference according to a lot of people. This is clearly pass interference. One's called, one's not. We talked about the Falcons one a couple weeks ago where it was a, you know, pass that should have been a PI call. That one was more blatantly in the aspect of, you know, that was a situation where the Falcons could have either won it or had a chance to win it. So that one I think was a little bit worse in a scenario that definitely needs to be called every single time no matter what. But again, like I said, you know, we have a referee problem. We have known this for a very long time. It's not new. It's not like, oh my lordy, what? We have we have a referee problem. Like, this needs to, again, be looked into. But the sad part is Roger Goodell has said it before. He does not think we have a problem. He has been very vocal about the fact that every single year that the referees miss 10% of their calls. His words, not mine. 10% of the calls every single year. And if you want to put that into perspective, he did say that they make around 1 million calls a year and they miss around 10%. So roughly about 100,000 calls a year referees will miss and could determine a game, could change the outcome of a game, could completely ruin a game. And according to the NFL, they're okay with that. They're okay with those metrics because, again, it's only 100,000 missed calls. Yeah, do the math on that per game. It's pretty bad. It really is. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But again, like I said, that's just my personal opinion. That's one man's personal opinion. Definitely tell me down below your personal opinion. Do you think that they didn't call that one on the right because they are the Kansas City Chiefs? Or do you believe it's just situational football and you just don't call it in garbage time? I don't know. Twitter thinks it's because it's Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think every missed call is because they're the Kansas City Chiefs. I think in critical situations that really matter, that can determine outcomes, there will be some that go in the favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. This one right here, again, will go in the favor. Peace out.